All right. And away we go.
All right, Eric, can you please have a one-word prompt? Christmas-themed, please.
Please.
Jingle bells.
Clever.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
I don't really have much for Jingle Bells. Other reindeer. There was like a weird reindeer in this movie. Couldn't quite tell what animal they were supposed to be. But I miss my boy Comet still. When am I going to see Comet again?
You can rewatch the Santa Claus 3 if you really need more Comet.
I think it was better in the second one.
Hold on 1 second. Hey!
Nice.
Welcome to the Overtalking Podcast with your ho-ho hosts, Ken and CJ. Say hi, CJ.
Ho, ho, ho.
This is the show ho-ho where we talk over TV show ho-hos and movies as chosen by our guests. And this week we watched Krampus.
Ken's on like just enough of a delay where that if like a joke doesn't land, it's extra funny because there's just silence for a little bit.
No, that's just how I'm reacting.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah, I should know by now. You're right.
I don't remember a reindeer in this movie. What are you talking about?
They weren't reindeer, but there was something at the very end when they open up the pit to hell. There's he has like a version of a sleigh.
Okay.
Yeah. And speaking of hell, we're once again joined by my brother Eric.
What's up?
And I'm making the same mistake I made with Steve and putting the soundboard in between us.
That's the mistake right there.
Woman.
Didn't know what that one was. Should have guessed that. It's titled Rock Woman.
Yeah. What else was
That's
it going to
exactly
be?
what it is. Yeah.
Should have known. What's up, boys?
Hi.
Hi.
Thanks for coming over.
Yeah, thanks for having me. You'll be happy to hear that I actually took notes.
I know. I see
watching this movie, which maybe
Wow.
in like the 5 years I've been doing this is the first time I've ever done that.
Well, this is probably the first one you've done where we've like prescribed a movie. Well, I mean, you chose it, but from a short list, right?
Yeah.
That's true.
And Ken, what are we doing this month?
Well, this month we're doing The War on Christmas. The War on Christmas. Thank you, CJ.
Got it.
Yes. Yeah, so I blew right past that. But yeah, all month long we are doing action and horror themed Christmas movies, not your grandma's Christmas movies.
Grandma!
These are the
familiar?
hardcore Christmas movies. So yeah, we're doing Krampus.
One of my notes was, so Ken backdoored another horror movie month this year.
You
Yeah.
sneaky.
I approached CJ and I was like, hey, what if we did Christmas, but we just didn't do Christmas movies and just did horror movies? And I don't know how I snuck that by him, but we got it in.
Have we talked about where this idea came from?
Yeah, we did last week.
Did we last week? Okay. We thought about it about a year ago and just happened to remember finally.
Well, I haven't heard that yet.
Yeah, that's true. Because of the way records work, that episode has not come out yet.
Okay, I'll wait.
Just talk to your wife. She was there. Yeah.
Yeah, she'll fill you in.
Gotta talk to my wife.
Big sigh after that.
Yikes. Whoa.
Love and married life already, huh?
Marriage is going well.
Old ball and chain.
No, I don't even like joking like that.
Yeah, I know. It's sad when...
That's not funny. Well, speaking of things that aren't funny, but maybe a little bit, we watched Krampus. So we're going to talk about that and more coming up on the Overtalking Podcast.
Krampus.
Krampus. War on Christmas. The War on Christmas.
Oh, screams.
You gotta throw that in there.
Looks like Martha Stewart threw up in here.
This is delicious, honey.
A little dry.
Well, mine's delicious.
Mine's dry.
Do you want to trade?
How we were going to survive Christmas with 12 people stuck in a house with no heat and no electricity.
St. Nicholas is not coming this year. Instead, a much darker, ancient spirit.
Those are hooves. Elk or goat?
What kind of goat walks on its hind legs?
His name is Krampus.
And we're back to the War on Christmas, and we're talking about Krampus. Eric, we're going to put 30 seconds on the clock for you to describe for someone who's never heard or seen the movie Krampus, 2016's Krampus with Adam Scott, by the way. There's a couple of Krampus movies. What it's all about.
Ready, go.
Okay, normally I don't take this seriously, but I actually feel like there's a chance that people don't know the story of Krampus, which is actually a real folklore tale. Mm-hmm. So it's about a German goat beast who beats children with chains when they don't believe in Christmas enough.
Yikes.
And that's what this movie is.
10 seconds.
Fuck.
5, 4.
Haven't touched on the plot of the movie at all.
Hilarity ensues.
Okay.
The most important part. It does ensue. I chuckled.
It kind of does.
Yeah.
It ensues. Yeah. This is a horror comedy, I'm pretty sure.
Would you like to describe what happens in the movie?
Yeah, okay. So it starts out as
No,
your
you don't have to do this.
Well, we need to. I'll make it quick. Right. Starts out as a typical Christmas movie with family, and they're inviting family over for Christmas, and
they're annoyed.
They all just don't like each other. And then the little boy was writing a letter to Santa, but then says fuck it and tears it up and throws it into the wind, and that somehow triggers Krampus to come and
Krampus
kill his entire family, basically.
Krampus, or so we think.
Or so we think. Yeah, the ending's kind of ambiguous, which we'll get to in a little bit. But yeah, that's it.
He tore the letter up because his family were being jerks to him. They found his letter and his cousins were making fun of him. And he was like, screw this. And gets really angry and was like, fuck this holiday. He doesn't say that, but he basically does.
He has a whole long conversation with his dad about why he even needs to care about his family at all, which was
and his
moment.
Dad doesn't have a good response.
No, he doesn't.
He's like, "Hey, you got me there." Which, hey, respect.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's true.
His dad, Adam Scott, is just helping himself to the heaviest of pours of like whiskey into a coffee mug. Much respect. I used to do that at parties. Love drinking on. Actually, I did that, speaking of holidays, on Thanksgiving at Emily's parents' place.
Oh, boy.
They were like, hey, would you like a drink? I was like, sure would. They had some Eagle Rare, very excellent whiskey. And they're like, oh, let me get you a glass. I was like, nah, I got it. And took out a mug from the cabinet. Poured something there. It's too late. There's no going back. They're stuck with me now.
Welcome to the family.
Yep.
All right.
Nothing you can do about it now.
Don't need to prove myself to you anymore. Where's the mug?
Oh, there's still time. Don't worry.
That's true. There's Christmas coming up.
Yeah.
True.
So let's talk about who's in this movie, because there's a lot of big names, right? So we already mentioned Adam Scott, but Bailey has something to say. Hold on.
Bailey?
Who else is in the movie? That's right, Toni Collette.
Yeah, wow.
That's right.
Big Toni Collette fan.
Yeah.
Yes.
What a pull.
That's right.
And David Koechner. Yep.
Wow.
Way to go, Bailey.
Oh, Bailey.
Yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm. Meg,
Anyone else?
Well, that's it. That's the end of the
No,
cast.
I mean,
That's
that
pretty
really
much it.
kind
I don't know
of
anyone else. Yeah.
Yeah. Those were the three.
The woman, the wife to the guy we just said, whose name I can't remember
David
anymore.
Koechner?
But David Koechner. She's someone too, right?
She is
I've seen her in
someone.
other stuff.
That's for sure.
She's definitely someone.
Yeah, I have seen her, and if there was only a way we could find out.
No.
What else?
No, we have
At
to
first
move on.
glance, I thought it's very much a like Melanie Lewinsky type, if I'm saying her name right, from I Don't Feel at Home in This World Anymore.
Oh,
Yes.
That's her name, right? Melanie. I thought that's who it was, but it's not.
it's not.
Her name is Allison Tolman, and she has been in things like... I have not watched any of these shows. Oh, she was in I'm Sorry. I don't think so.
I don't know what that is.
Very great show. I'm Sorry. 2 seasons, I think. Maybe 3.
I'm sorry.
How did you guys watch this? I know typically I know how you watch these movies, but it is streaming on Peacock. Did either of you
streaming
watch
on
this
Peacock.
on Peacock?
Sure did.
CJ watched it off of my box, and I own the Blu-ray of this, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Ken, did you see it before purchasing the Blu-ray? Or was this just like a... Okay. I wasn't sure where...
Was this a theater watch?
I'm pretty sure I saw it in the theater, and then I, of course, acquired it legally onto my server with explains why it's there, and C3 is able to watch it off of that.
Yeah. Well, you own the Blu-ray. That's why it's on your server.
Right.
That's legal.
Actually, I think it is legal for me to have that on my server since I do own the physical copy, right?
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Sure, yeah. Well, I just wanted to give a shout out to Peacock because Peacock did the beautiful thing, which we really need to, I think, normalize and advocate for. They did the thing where they said, hey, watch like 2 minutes of ads up top and then enjoy the movie ad free. I'm like, yes. I can just walk away for 2 minutes and come back and the movie's free.
All right, go start the popcorn.
Tab. Exactly.
Yeah.
So shout out to
that
Peacock
is perfect.
for that.
Yeah.
That was nice.
I don't get why, why more, or like Hulu, there's still a paid tier. It's like, but you have ads.
Yeah.
Just make them available, and then more people will watch your shit, and you still get money.
Mm-hmm. Someone put us in charge of these TV networks. Let's start our own. Quibi. Yeah. That's a good name. Quick Bites. Let's start that.
Yikes.
I'm thinking like CISO or something like that.
That's a good one. Yeah.
I don't know why. Yeah. Anyway.
Well, Netflix is going to start adding ads soon, right? Or an ad tier.
Yeah. Oh, really?
That's inevitable. Yeah.
That's unfortunate. But
honestly, I'm surprised they haven't done that already. I feel like it's been a long time.
Yeah. I didn't know they do movies in theaters that are then going to be put on Netflix.
I didn't know that either.
Like
that must be
Onion.
new. Yes.
Which we saw in theaters.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Which
Was it
that's
good?
what we're here to talk about today. I'm putting 30 seconds on the clock, CJ. What is the Glass Onion about?
No, I haven't said it yet. Don't do it.
James Bond is in it. He's there to save the day.
James Bond and the Hulk?
Ooh, one of the bad Hulks, too.
Well, the Hulk's definitely in the Glass Onion. That's
oh, yeah. Not him. Yeah. Not Edward Norton. The Hulk. Bruce Banner.
Okay.
So should I just like go through my notes
Yeah,
on this?
let's do it.
I got a lot.
Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah.
All right. First things first.
Okay.
The TV right at the beginning. Did you notice they were talking about the war on Christmas on the TV?
I did not.
No, I didn't.
Relevant.
The war on Christmas.
Relevant
the
to
war
the pod.
on Christmas. The war on Christmas. Thank you.
So, that was cool. Okay, first.
That was cool. that was cool. Huh.
Okay, here's a good one.
Okay.
There's a grandma character who's like German, and she's kind of the one that knows the lore of Krampus. Her name's like Omi or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, Omi.
I think I have to assume that's just a nickname for grandma.
Yeah, I figured that's grandma in German or whatever. But she's talking to the grandson, or her grandson, and says something like, whatever, about Christmas, and then is like, but I also like having dessert before dinner or something. And when she said that, Carissa, my wife, who fully was not watching, was playing Mario Kart and couldn't read the subtitles because she was playing Mario Kart. So I read that part out loud to her. And she was like, this was a direct quote. And I don't use these words, but this is a quote from her. I said, hey, this grandma likes dessert before dinner. And Carissa said, hell yes, I like this bitch.
So exuberant.
Nice. Well said.
Yeah.
I like this bitch. I like Omi being referred to as a bitch in any context. But,
just this nice old German lady.
Yeah.
very exciting.
Like sacrifices herself for the family.
Yeah, seriously.
This bitch is sacrificing herself. That's awesome.
Hell yes.
Hell yes.
Hell yes, Queen.
Cool.
Get those cookies.
All right, should I keep going?
Yep, next.
Yeah, please.
Cool. All right, well, this one's a downer. The DHL guy, delivery guy, was frozen to death in his truck. It made me think about how the UPS drivers right now are gearing up to strike because their trucks don't have AC units in them. And they found the receipts where the UPS explicitly asked the truck manufacturers to not put the AC in there. They can see on the itemized receipt that they saved like $120 by not putting AC in the trucks, folks.
My God.
Wow.
So support your UPS drivers. Yeah, So
Dang.
that DHL guy freezing to death was like, he probably didn't have heat in there.
Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah. They probably would have removed the heat if it wasn't based off of the engine itself.
Exactly.
God.
I
did like the DHL guy referring to UPS as the boys in brown.
Yes.
It's a good line. It wasn't me. Probably the boys in brown.
I was just, someone just reminded me of this, and I forget what it was, but do you guys remember when the UPS slogan was like, what can brown do for you?
Yes.
Oof.
What can brown do for you? Okay.
Who decided on that?
Major company got through so many levels of approvals.
Yeah.
Insane.
Ugh.
All right, I'll keep going.
Next.
The animation was horrible. What do you guys think of the animation?
I liked it.
Fine.
I liked that it split it up, at least.
It was a weird turn, or I don't know. I guess that's a better way of doing it.
So you're referring to when Omi is explaining the lore of Krampus and what had happened to her previously,
Krampus.
Apparently when she was younger, did she trigger it? Did she make a wish?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
and then her parents were taken to hell basically by Krampus, so she knew about it.
I knew St. Nicholas was not coming this year. Instead, it was a much darker, more ancient spirit. The shadow of St. Nicholas. It was Krampus.
And all of that was done using weird stop motion-y animation thing, which was, I don't know, I liked it. I thought it kind of mixed it up a little bit, but yeah, it probably wasn't the best. I don't know.
I guess it was maybe better than if they had cut to real people, like a girl being attacked by this monster that we haven't quite seen yet.
True.
Hasn't truly been revealed.
True.
But yeah, it was kind of like, oh, okay, we're taking a little side story down the memory lane here and got some claymation or whatever.
I don't know. Just the tone, I think, of this movie was very confusing to me.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
So that really threw me off. And then there were a lot of moments where they were very obviously using stock canned sound effects. There's the classic pot breaking. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The classic sound effect of a pot breaking. You hear that. Someone gets thrown out a window and it's like, woo! It's like,
yes.
I want you to find that sound effect because it's like the slide whistle, but not it's like, what? This is slaps. Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
this
something
is
like that.
slapstick.
Yeah. I loved it. It's quite on the same note that you're talking about. I fell in love with the gingerbread cookie monsters. Those guys were probably the best part of the movie.
That was giving me big Shrek vibes.
Literally, it's this exact same thing.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But getting back to the tone issue, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, like I mentioned before, it's kind of a horror comedy because most of the actors in this movie are comedian actors.
Yeah.
But then you also have Toni Collette, who is a big horror icon and big dramatic actress. And and then also the writing of this movie and the sound effects and all the weird gags that go on.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's very, I don't know, it's very hard to do a good horror comedy in my mind. And
Definitely.
I forget who told me this at one point, but they said the best horror comedy is 90% horror and 10% comedy.
Yes.
Or flip it and it's a full comedy with just horror elements.
Yes.
But this is weird because this is more of a mix than that percentage.
Yeah.
And it makes it for kind of a strange tone, basically, right? There's some scary moments, but then also it's it's Adam Scott, so I don't know.
And there's freaking gingerbread cookies attacking him with a nail gun. That part was hilarious. It's how can you be scared of those little guys? They're laughing at him.
One of my notes was, this is legit creepy, but then you find yourself saying stuff like, shit, it's Krampus's elves. And it's just okay, that's the most insane sentence I've ever said in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's they had their feet in both, they couldn't pick a lane. It was they had the comedic actors and the weird sound effects, and they had some gags. I think it was like they were self-conscious about how just inherently silly this story is. Like, it is like a real, at least to Americans, like a funny folktale of, this goat who beats children with chains.
It's a dark story, like the origin of Krampus, right? I know that for this movie, I found out some stuff while I was doing trivia for it, and I know that because this is like a big studio movie, that the only way that they were going to greenlight this after things like Black Christmas and Silent Night, Deadly Night from last week, because that caused so much controversy, was that this movie had to be PG-13. So I think that they may have toned it down and maybe a little too much, but in order to make it that kind of movie.
Well,
I don't know.
Yeah, even with the sort of like villains of the movie, they couldn't even pick a lane, because you do have creepy like clown Jack in the Box whose mouth opens and straight up swallows a child, and then you have the gingerbread cookies like with a nail gun that are like laughing and shit. So it's like, wait, so which one is it?
That's such a good point. And I'm just realizing now they never explain any of the other creatures. There's like clearly the Krampus, but then there's like a bear. What?
It's just all the toys are evil.
Toys. Yeah.
So is Krampus like a spirit who's embodying the toys, or those are like Krampus's like minions that are with him all the time? Like,
I think that's the latter, but it's not really explained well. Yeah, you're right.
And the elves.
Yeah, and the freaky like
the
porcelain
elves,
doll
creepy.
mask elves.
Yeah.
Who that and there's like, and throughout all of this they first board themselves up in the home because when they went out to look for one of the missing children, there's clearly like similar to a dune sandworm, but it's snow. Like just a creature.
Because you never see that.
We never know what it is. But also we're like, oh, clearly it's hunting the family. But then an elf gets swallowed by it. So it's like, wait, then what is this thing?
It's just indiscriminately sucking up anything, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And it was like, and then the parents, like at the end, when they're trying to get to the snowplow, they seemingly are just giving way to that weird snow sandworm.
Yeah, they all gave up pretty easily and quickly.
I know I'm jumping ahead, but that was like,
While we're in that scene, I remember, so Max is the kid who still believes in Santa and was writing the letter and then tore it up and threw it into the wind. But at that point in the movie, they're expecting Max to drive that vehicle, right? How old is Max? I'm so confused.
12? I don't know. I have
no
idea.
That's such a good point. How do you straddle still believing in Santa and then also like maybe could know how to drive a car?
Yeah.
Like
he did have a good line though, because when it's down to just the two kids and he can't get it started at first, and he himself says like, I don't know how to work this thing. I can't drive stick. So
we have a hybrid, I think is what he said.
Yeah, that's right. He's like, we have a hybrid. I was like, that's a really funny line because like, you can't even get it out of like park to be able to do anything.
What was the game plan there?
Yeah, I don't know. I thought Adam Scott, I get him giving up. He sort of ran out of ammo and he was out in the middle of nowhere. Fine. The like aunt her leg gets caught. She kind of is already half swallowed. Yeah. Max's mom though goes to save her, and Max and his cousin are in the car. Yeah. But then she just straight up is like, "I love you." Bye.
Yeah. Like what?
It's like no, like jump into the car or like they just giving up left and right.
Yeah.
And then can we get to the ending? This weird like M. Night Shyamalan.
We're basically there anyway.
Yeah. It was like, okay, so a literal hole to hell gets opened up in the ground when Max is like, no, I take it all back. I don't want to wish this or whatever I want. I just wanted it to be how it used to be. And he gets dropped into the hole to hell, but then wakes up and everyone's super nice and friendly, and it's like it had never happened.
Yeah. And what I wrote about that was getting dropped into hell and waking up to Christmas morning with your family. That sounds about right.
hey, I'm your
Yikes.
So anyways, Ken, what do you think of that?
Definitely interesting. I mean, it's ambiguous too what's going on, because then they zoom out and it turns out their house is in a snow globe or something.
Krampus keeps snow globes of all of his like victims.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
Which isn't the snow globe trick ending a classic? Isn't that like a classic TV show?
Yeah, I figured like it'd be a Twilight Zone kind of thing.
Yeah, I feel like the snow globe thing was like the first example of like, and it was all a dream. There was like some show that did like ended, and it was like this all took place inside a snow globe or something. So it's like that wasn't even original.
Yeah,
or maybe I'm getting it wrong.
I don't know.
Yeah, would have been better if it zooms out. It's Krampus's shack. He has all these snow globes. And then that zooms out, and it's Santa's snow globe.
Oh, snap.
Krampus is in Santa's snow globe.
That sick motherfucker.
Santa.
Ho, ho, ho.
There he is.
Oh, God. Krampus is still, I mean, moving a little bit away from the movie, but Krampus is still, like, celebrated in Europe a lot. They have a thing called Krampusnacht, and that is, I guess, the official holiday where you, I guess, celebrate, quote unquote, Krampus. But my mom is actually in Europe right now, and she's at the, I forget exactly where she is, but she's at various Christmas markets. And there's people who dress up head to toe in full on Krampus outfits and walk around with the switch and just like attack people basically in like a fun spirited way. But like, yeah, it's awesome and terrifying at the same time.
That's so scary.
Yeah.
I'm picturing Krampus like has hooves and horns, but is still wearing lederhosen.
I don't know. The ones I saw were fully nude, dude. So yeah.
That feels like there's like some Dutch country that they still have a festival where like they all do blackface. Jesus. Do you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. And they're like, it's tradition. Yeah,
it's
like that's what feels, that's like what Krampus is too.
God.
Yeah. God. I just want to, I want to go there and I want to like see the children's reaction to Krampus, like multiple Krampuses on the streets, and see what they think.
That's wild. But I wonder if it's one of those things that like if you grow up with it, I wonder if it's not like scary, or you're just like, oh well, yeah, this is just everybody knows this is kind of a folk tale or whatever.
That's true. I mean, I feel like we have similar stuff. Like Elf on a Shelf, I feel like the sentiment is very similar, where it's like you're essentially scaring kids into being good or getting into the spirit or something. Like Krampus is the Elf on the Shelf. If you then were like, and if you're bad, this elf is gonna kick the shit out of you with chains.
Yeah. God.
I love that you're always specifying it's with chains.
Yes, that's the most brutal part to me.
Takes those chains off of his tire from his pickup truck. Just whips you with
those kids. Yeah.
Yeah. The Elf on the Shelf is bizarre. It's just like,
Elf
this thing is watching
probably
you.
Unhealthy.
Yeah.
But so
the
cute.
The adult version of that is just the government. Am I right?
Oh boy, Big Brother, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yikes. What else? What kind of notes you got? Yeah.
Ken and I are coming up like.
Nice.
All right. What else? I just wrote Krampus is a super soldier against the war on Christmas.
The war on Christmas. God.
And then the last note I have, unfortunately, is attic scene is Gremlins.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. With the stuffed animals and I don't know.
That there's some cool possessed toys or whatever we decided they are.
Yes.
Yeah.
We talked about the teddy bear. The angel thing is like pretty scary.
Yes.
I don't know what it is, but yeah, it's a creepy angel with sharp teeth, and it's got a
something
mouth.
about
I don't know.
having feathers and like trying to bite. Oh, okay, yeah. Wait, speaking of this, so the mom gets pinned down by this thing that probably weighs all of a pound.
Yes.
But, it's alive now. And she's pinned down by this, fighting off this thing. And all of a sudden, we see the wettest, thinnest tongue come out of this thing and gives her like a wet willy.
Oh, yeah.
It's the best part.
What is this? Oh, God. Just like slops up her face.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's also... Go ahead.
Oh, no, this is not worth it. I was going to say that tongue scene reminded me. Carissa's been watching the Kardashians show on Hulu, and there's...
Where's this going?
One of them is married to Travis Barker, and she was like... I know, very strange to see him like on this show. It's really
the drummer
weird.
of the Aquabats?
Yes. Yes, actually. And there's some scene where like she's like wearing lipstick so she can't kiss him, so they like just touch tongues.
Oh,
yeah. And that scene reminded me of that. I'm like, Travis, no.
Gross.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And so then we also have the like robot thing that's like stabbing Adam Scott in the back.
Yeah.
And then the biggest toy of them all, the Jack in the Box that consumes one of the cousins' whole.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Its whole mouth and chin split open into a vicious.
Has like 4 rows of teeth.
Gape.
Yeah.
Yeah. That thing's awesome.
Yeah. That one was pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. There was like some legit scary stuff in here. I several times I was like, I wonder what CJ is feeling about this.
I was sort of laughing at those points,
Yeah.
especially like the tongue thing. How could he like that was funny?
Right.
And yeah,
Right.
I sort of once all of that started, that's when I hit the point of like, oh, I don't think I'm supposed to take this seriously. Like this is okay. This is supposed to be kind of silly.
Yeah.
Okay, I can get behind this.
When the angel takes the Christmas lights, ties it around the mom's neck, drapes it over a beam, and lifts her up into the air.
Yeah.
That's too funny.
Yeah.
That was good, yeah. And also, I was like, I don't know if I've ever seen Toni Collette in a role where she's not being, like, tormented in an attic.
Yeah, that's fair.
Being strung up with Christmas lights, major Silent Night, Deadly Night vibes.
Oh,
True.
definitely.
Same type of kill.
Yeah. And you mentioned Gremlins earlier, which unfortunately we have already done this show, but would have been a perfect entry into the War on Christmas because it is a Christmas movie.
That's right.
Believe it or not.
Forget.
Yes.
It starts with like them saying how her dad died or something. Got stuck in the chimney.
Yep.
Wasn't that it?
Yep. Extremely long,
God.
depressing monologue
Yeah.
about her dad dying, getting stuck in the chimney.
Yeah. What a brutal way to go.
Yep.
We haven't watched the second one though. I don't think that's a Christmas movie, but I hear
I
that
don't think
one
it's a Christmas
is way
movie.
better.
That one, I don't know if it's better or not, but it's more bonkers for sure.
I've heard it's better.
Yeah, it's definitely better. You have to see both of them because it's insane. They're so different, but it's made by the same person. So you got to see the second one.
Okay.
It's a new batch.
That's right. That's what they say.
That's right. Well, how about this? Are you guys ready for a new batch of trivia questions, maybe? Because it's time for...
Eric.
Hey, did you know that?
That's right. For new listeners, this is the part of the show where we pit our guests and CJ head-to-head to see who knows the most about what we watched. Eric, CJ, are you two ready?
I am ready.
Ready.
All right. First question is pretty open-ended, so we'll see
Yes.
if you can answer it or not. But here we go. This movie was written and directed by Michael Dougherty. Do either of you know who that is?
No, but his name wouldn't stop appearing in the credits.
Yes.
He like wrote, directed, produced, like
Yes.
it was just his name over and over again.
Yeah.
Okay.
How about this? If you write, direct, and produce a movie, tell us that once. New rule. No, I don't know who that is.
Okay, well, that's going to make this question incredibly difficult for you.
Great.
What else has he written and directed? I'll tell you, and for maybe more for CJ's benefit, but we've covered one of his other movies on this show before.
All right, let's just think back to the past 200 something movies we've covered.
I'll tell you, it's a Halloween movie.
Halloween.
No. You can keep guessing.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
No.
Friday the 13th.
All right. He's a modern horror movie director. Okay, he directed Trick or Treat.
Oh,
with the little Sam guy. And then also, after both of those movies, he went on to write and direct Godzilla, King of the Monsters, that big blockbuster a couple of years ago.
Wow.
So, yeah, his career's kind of taken off lately.
That's an interesting roster
of
movies.
It is. It's kind of a giant change of pace.
Yes.
Trick or Treat and Krampus kind of make sense together, but Godzilla is a giant movie, so...
Kind of makes sense why this guy doesn't really understand tone. Okay, Ken, next question.
All right. Well, next question is going to be probably also difficult, but there's an Easter egg tying Krampus to Trick or Treat. In this movie, Krampus, did either of you catch... Eric, have you seen Trick or Treat before?
No.
Okay, so you're not going to get this? Yep. CJ, any chance you caught something that tied the two together? If not, I can answer the question for you right now, and we'll get to the real questions.
No, I can't. Because most of that movie was just like, it literally is them trick-or-treating a bunch. No, I can't think of it.
So in Trick or Treat, there's like a little guy, right, who has like a sack over his head, and under it's like a pumpkin guy.
Oh, yeah, that was Krampus.
That was Krampus, yeah. At one point in Trick or Treat, he has this lollipop that has a jack-o'-lantern face on it, and he bites into it and uses that as a weapon. Lollipop is seen in the shoebox of Max's old Halloween candy that he brings out at one point in Krampus.
Wow.
Whoa.
Anyway, yeah, I caught it, but I've also seen Trick or Treat like 5 times. So.
Wow. I'm really impressed you caught that. That's insane.
I have an Easter egg to share.
Oh, okay.
In Max's room, there's a Robot Chicken poster.
I saw that. He had a couple of Robot Chicken things, and he also had a Rick and Morty thing, too. Yeah,
because Seth Green and Justin Roiland were in this movie.
What?
They were.
Wait, really?
I too.
I barely caught... I stayed to watch, like, the first 10 seconds of the credits.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, it's like, wait, what the fuck? Why are those guys in it? Don't they play like elves or something?
Oh.
They voice some gingerbread men. Maybe they play elves as well. I don't know.
No, I think you're right. Yeah, it's gingerbread men.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because the gingerbread man's like, oh, I'm having troubles with Rick Morty.
That's right. Yeah.
Rap. I remember that now.
Yeah, classic scene.
All right, let's get to a couple questions that might actually get some points on the board.
Yeah, we haven't gotten any, right?
Yeah,
no. I mean, haven't even been able to attempt an answer.
0-0. What is this? The World Cup? I mean, go on.
Whoa. All right. When is Krampusnacht? Just person who gets the closest to the actual date gets the point.
Oh, is it even in December?
I know.
That's what I'm now debating. You know what? November 28th.
Okay.
I'm gonna say December 1st, Rent Day.
Ooh.
Scary.
Eric, you get the point. You're closer. It's December 5th.
Whoa.
Yes.
Yeah, that's weird. That seems early.
Gotta spread them out. I don't know.
Well, it's made up. Who cares?
That's true.
It's all made up. Doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
Great point.
All right. A prequel tie-in graphic novel was released after the film.
Ooh.
What is it called? This is multiple choice.
Yes.
To make it easier. I probably should have made the other ones multiple choice, but oh well. All right. Is this called A, Krampus, the Christmas Devil? Is it B, Krampus, Krampus is coming to town?
No.
Is it C, Krampus, Shadow of St. Nicholas? Or is it D, Krampus, Silent Night, Krampusnacht?
Okay.
Bravo,
a couple of those are really good.
That was good. That was really good.
I'm going to go with the first one. I don't remember what it is, but...
I'm going to do the Shadow one, because they say that in the movie, at least. I'm pretty sure.
Shadow of St. Nicholas is correct.
Good call. Yeah.
I have it right here.
Oh, my God.
Wow. Yes.
Krampus.
Yes, pretty cool. I'm going to have to reread that soon. All right, next question. The movie's ambiguous ending has spawned 2 fan theories. The first being that the Engels and their family are trapped in the snow globe, condemned to repeat Christmas morning for eternity in a twisted version of hell, like we mentioned before. or they're given a second chance, and the snow globe is Krampus's means of watching over them. This tie-in graphic novel confirms one of those two theories. Which one is correct?
Second one.
I don't know. I kind of like the Groundhog Day aspect of it, but how would you, and then if the graphic novel is just him like torturing them over and over again, let's go with that one.
Eric, you're right. Yeah, it's the second one. It's the happier one.
Yeah. That feels like the Krampus spirit, because it's like his whole thing is like very violent and like intense, but like the kind of crux of it is like, I'm going to be watching you. Like, you got to believe in Christmas, because once you don't, I'll come and like take you away. And so they're like watching over them. Yeah.
As you were describing that, it made it sound like it was a friend who had just been on a first date with Krampus. It was like, he was a little intense. It's like kind of quiet.
Well, once you get to know what he's all about, he kind of makes sense. Yeah.
He forgot his wallet, but I believed it.
Classic. Okay, actually, really fast while we're on the topic of Krampus, did he have mouth eyes?
Now that we're
While
on
we're on the
Krampus.
But the titular Krampus.
Did he have mouth
Did he have
eyes?
what?
Mouth eyes.
Mouth eyes?
I swear.
God.
So
No,
normal, we
I
can't really see his eyes throughout most of the movie. It's just like a black pupil.
Yeah.
But there's one like split second where some light gets shown, and I swear, instead of his eyes blinking normally, it was like a mouth closing.
Oh, interesting.
But
I don't know. So what I read, and I didn't realize this until I read it, but he's wearing a mask. He's wearing a St. Nicholas mask. That's not his real face. He's wearing a Santa Claus like demented mask, so we don't actually see his face.
Oh, wow. I did not catch
Is it because
that.
he's a goat?
Maybe. I don't know.
Is Michael Myers under there? That's, whoa, that's somehow more disturbing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I always wondered, because his mouth doesn't move, right? It's just like this big
it just
open
hangs
thing.
open.
That's because it's a mask, apparently. I don't know.
Interesting.
So then the graphic novel is like him getting home at 5 o'clock, taking off his mask, putting his keys in the bowl.
Pops it off. Yeah.
And when you think about it, we kind of all wear masks.
Here we go.
All right, we got to move on. Next question. What is the Rotten Tomatoes tomato meter score in percentage? Closest without going over. For those who don't know, this is the critic score on Rotten Tomatoes. CJ, who's in the lead?
Eric.
Really?
Eric, since you're in the lead, go first.
All right. Well, as I said, I did not watch this on Plex, so there was no chance of me cheating. As I've established before, on Plex, it does sometimes show the Rotten Tomatoes score.
It does.
So I didn't cheat. I'm going to think people really were not into this. So I'm going to say, I'm going to go low. I'm going to say like 30.
Whoa.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is the critic score, right?
I know, but I feel like...
Okay.
I feel like the audience would be the one that would be higher. I couldn't not imagine critics. But Ken saying that makes me think I should raise it.
Well, I just wanted to bring that up because you said people might not have liked this.
Yeah,
And critics are people. Yeah. They're scum of the
Yeah, no.
Exactly. They're not people.
That's true. That's true. No, I'll stick with 30.
Okay. I can't imagine this is getting like higher than a 70, but I don't know if it would, because there's some funny parts. I guess if you accept that the tone is that it's sort of both or something, I don't know. 58.
All right, CJ, you get the point because you're closer and not over. It's 66%, which is higher than I would have thought. It's still not great, but it's
that's
okay.
Way, I mean, obviously, but that's way higher than I would have.
Right.
Yeah, wow.
Okay, so we're tied up. So, what is the audience score on Rotten Tomatoes to give our guests the advantage this time? CJ, you go first. Just closest.
Yeah. I almost feel it would be probably around the same thing, like a 63.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's honestly not a bad guess.
Thank you.
Just kidding. It sucks. Man, it's just closest though, right?
Yeah. So just higher or lower.
I'm gonna go 74.
Okay, CJ's our winner. 51%.
Ooh. Wow, the critics liked it more than
That's shocking.
That is
That's
wild
interesting.
to me.
Yeah. I was off on that. That's crazy to me. What were critics seeing in this that like the general population wasn't? I'm so confused by that.
I'm surprised too, because this like Krampus movie has spawned like a bunch. I don't know. I feel like I see Instagram like love for this movie every year, and I know they have like that haunted house that's like basically based off of this movie, and I don't know. So that's strange.
Speaking of that, there is like I've really been meaning to go in there, and I'll just say the name of it. I was going to say, I'm not going to say what it is because I don't want to dox myself, but who fucking cares? It's this place called Transistor. Have either of you heard of it? They just moved.
I don't think so.
No.
But I guess it's like, I don't really know what it is, but people keep telling me about it. It's like an art gallery, but they have like records there and like books. I guess it's just like an art space or something. I'm like, oh, that sounds really cool. Like, I definitely want to check it out. But I walked by it the other day, and there's a sign on the door, and I don't know when it is, because I should have checked, because I really wanted to see. I wanted to go before this podcast, but they're doing an art installation. It's all about Krampus.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so maybe we should go.
I'd be down. That sounds awesome.
I don't know how long it's going on, but yeah, I'll try to get some details. I don't know how. I mean, this place is like very small, so maybe it's like 3 prints of like Krampus art. But hey,
it's like
Krampus,
very high art.
It's in the zeitgeist.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Exactly. Oh, interesting. Well, I think it might be time for our ratings then.
Ratings.
Eric, on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate Krampus for you?
Oh wow, I truthfully did not think about this. I will say, I kind of enjoyed it. I wasn't expecting to. I had pretty low expectations, but it was like legitimately creepy in some parts. I think the tone being inconsistent like really kind of rubbed me the wrong way. So that's going to knock it down a few points. I'm going to say this Krampus is a 6.5.
Okay.
Oh, okay. That's higher than I would have thought.
Yeah. I'm actually, I don't know. I was into it, and I also could see people being into it, which maybe is a weird thing to say, but I'm like, I get it. I get that there's like a fan base for this, and they made more, and I don't know. It's a fucking weird story.
Yeah.
It's cool that Hollywood made a movie about a fucking weird folktale.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. CJ.
For me, I truly had no idea what to expect. I think I touched on it last week. The only things I knew about this movie were, one, it was some sort of horror movie, and Adam Scott started it. Like, that's it.
That's pretty much all I knew about it, too.
Yeah.
Other than, like, what Krampus is.
Yeah, I can't believe we haven't established until now that neither of you have seen this before, but yeah, that
correct.
is,
Yes. First time viewing. But sort of going into it expecting a straight horror movie and not getting that, with some weird kind comedy elements in it, it then sort of like flipped on me where I'm like, oh, okay, this is kind of fun. Like, this is kind of like silly. They like, again, those gingerbread like the best part of the movie. And I sort of liked the like, the toys turning evil and attacking them. The elves were creepy as fuck. Hated them.
100%.
Did not like that at all. But then, as that was happening, I was like, what is the ending of this? Because people just keep disappearing, and we don't really know why or where they're going. Because then finally at the end of the movie, Max finds one cousin, and they're like, oh yeah, now we're just going to open up a pit to hell and start tossing people down there. It's like, well, you weren't doing that before? Like, where is everybody? What's going on? And they don't really tell you. I liked it, though. Like, I thought it was fun. Yeah. If you go into it not really taking it seriously. 6.5 sounds pretty good. I'm almost tempted to give it a 7 just because it was kind of like silly. I don't know. Yeah. It feels weird to put it.
Which one is it?
Middle ground. I'll do a 6.75. Nope. Tim, I'm sticking with that.
All right.
Ken.
For me, so, I mean, first off the top of the bat, I already mention that I own the Blu-ray, and obviously I own this graphic novels, but it doesn't mean it's a 10 for me by any means. I like it because I like a Christmas horror, and this is one of the more consistent ones, and one that I don't have to worry about sexual violence in, which, believe it or not, is a very great thing. So,
particularly in the movie that you guys watched last week.
Yeah, exactly. Did you watch that with Carissa?
I have now seen that movie twice.
Oh, no.
Which, we watched it for like a movie month for some podcast like a few years ago, and then I watched it with her again. Yeah. Not... I would have liked to see that movie 0 times.
Yeah. Understandable. But this is one I can watch. I don't do it every year, but like every other year. It's a good time, but yeah, it has some tone issues for sure. The parts that CJ liked, I didn't. And
what a surprise.
Yeah, I know. I want it to be more horror, but I do like that it has some comedic elements. I just wish it was better balanced. Having that said, it's a good time, and I'm gonna give it a 7. A 7. I give it a 7. I was thinking about the 0.5, and I was like, I don't know.
Really left us hanging there.
Yeah, it's a 7.
The biggest dramatic pause. Yeah, it's a fun movie.
Yeah. I like that we're kind of all like, in the same kind of ballpark.
Yeah.
For sure.
I don't know, especially like talking about it. I'm like, it's a weird movie. I liked it.
Mm-hmm. I wish you got a glimpse into more of the lore, even like we get as a creepy dude bit. I want to know what the hell that snow worm is, or what that looks like. Yeah. Show it once. Just have it like, peek out of the sand and like roar or something, and then dive back in and slither around.
Have it peek out, and then it zooms in and says "the end," like Porky the Pig or whatever in Looney Tunes. That's all, folks.
That's all, folks, from the snow worm.
Yep.
I wonder if it's the snowmen. I wonder if they like sink into the snow.
Yeah, that didn't pay off at all.
I know, they had a bunch of like
show up.
Increasingly number of snowmen showing up outside their house and just didn't do anything.
I thought the short snowman was gonna be one of the kids.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, he just disappeared, and they're really setting this up to like be something.
That's what I thought.
And then nope, they just walk past it. Nothing happens.
There really is like, I wonder how much they're banking on. Is that sort of stuff they're like, oh, the audience is going to be familiar with this like folktale, and so these are like references to those things that the audience is already familiar with? Because
I don't know. I wouldn't expect the audience to be familiar with Krampus much.
I wouldn't either.
In America.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. So I'm like, why not? You can't just like throw that shit in there
and not have it like pay off.
Or it's just for creep factor and nothing else.
Yeah,
like, it's so strange. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I know they do more of that in the graphic novel. Like the snowmen are like actual animate things, but
okay.
Who wants that? I want a sequel to Krampus. Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's about it. Eric, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Anything you want to plug or words of wisdom at the end here?
I already got my fucking bullshit about the UPS drivers out there, so I'll spare you guys this time around.
What can Brown do for you?
No, I love
you need
being
a
here.
Brown in your life.
Have
Surely
me back
there's
anytime.
some music people could check out.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, CJ's been recording some songs that are really good.
I saw your Spotify Wrapped. I saw you made some money on Spotify this year.
Yeah, I mean, people can always check out Things Are Fun on all the platforms. I played drums in that. Fear, Smoking on Bandcamp. I haven't been posting things on that in a while, but I have been making music. And I think that's exactly what I said last time I was here, but it's still true. So stuff will be up there eventually. Give me a follow.
Nice.
Yeah. Do it.
And World Peace.
All right. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Not on the war on Christmas. The war on Christmas. All right. What do we got?
You can follow us on all the things that Overtalk About. Email us overtalkabout@gmail.com. Go to our website, overtalkabout.party. You can type in the word Eric, find all of his previous episodes.
Don't listen to Eric Cousin Eric's.
The other
Only
Eric.
brother Eric.
Brother
right.
Eric, yes.
Yeah, brother Eric specifically. Call or text us at USACat 1591.
Oh no, they're here.
Oh, fuck.
Ho, ho, ho.
They're getting in the spirit.
Yeah, in December they're the Overtalking overlords.
Of course.
They're in
They
red
show
robes
up-
instead.
The red robes. They've got the horns for Krampus. I think they're on brand this time. They show up at the end of every episode to remind me to remind you, if you like the show, please go on Apple Podcasts or Spotify and rate and review. Reviews are what help you find this podcast. Always spending no money on advertising. So if you like the show, please tell a friend and spread the word. We'd really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
And they're gone.
Krampus.
Bye.
Bye.
Have you been naughty or nice? This episode of the Overtalking Podcast was produced by Ken and CJ. Edited by CJ. Special guest was Eric. Music by Justin Peters. Logo by Nate Richards. Check out Nate's work on Instagram at Nate Richards Designs.